Hello, I'm back. It's me, Susan Flory, with the Big Middle. At long last, after a bit of a break, I've got a shiny new edition for you, and I'm calling this one A Startup with Sizzle and Social Impact. I want you to think back now to your last corporate event. You were starving, you hadn't had breakfast, and they were bringing out the lunch trays, and you pretty much lost your appetite on the spot. And all your eat healthy ambitions, well, they died too. Because what you saw in the UK, it often happens. You get a bowl of crisps and you get a platter of, soggy, greasy-looking sausage rolls, and then beige sandwiches with maybe a little bit of parsley poking out. It's not all that appetizing at all. So my enterprising young startup founders, they started to change all that. Yuru Guo is the one who had the brilliant idea, and not long after, Frankie came on board. And tell us about your company. What's it called first?
So it's called Hey Food is Ready. So we're an online marketplace working to connect independent cooks from diverse backgrounds with companies looking for corporate catering.
And it was your idea originally.
Yeah.
You're at Durham University. You were enrolled. You tell us about the program that you were enrolled in, when you had your light bulb eureka moment.
Yeah, so I studied management entrepreneurship at Durham University back to 2019. So that's when I initially got started. And across the year, I was trying to find the different ideas for my startup. And this is the final one that I landed with.
I'm going to just move the mic a little bit closer to you because
Yeah.
I can hear in my earbuds I'm not getting much level off your voice.
Yeah.
You're very soft-spoken, which is lovely. And I'm sure a large part of your success, because they have been really successful, folks. Now, your idea, though, came during lockdown in COVID. Tell us what happened, how you came about to think about world cuisines on the platters of all corporate events.
Of course. So during COVID, I was studying, I was living in this college. So Durham University has been divided into 16 different colleges. So it's more like a community. Each college have their own living community. And I belongs to Trevelyan College, and that's where I met Frankie as well. So during COVID, we all live in this bubbles with people from all around the world, and we'll have the potluck dinner every Friday. So people from different cultural backgrounds will bring one dish to the dinner table, and we all share that. So that was a moment I realized a lot of people around me, they can cook their culturally amazing, culturally inspired dishes.
So you had the idea to do what? Most people would just say, nice grub. Thanks for making that.
Completely. Yeah, so at that time I had the idea to create this platform where all of my talented friends from all around the world can use our platform to sell their culturally inspired dishes to people who want to try something different.
So, Hey Food is Ready. How did that all come to be, and how does it work now, Frankie?
So obviously I joined Yuru when I was at Trevelyan College, actually.
Yeah.
So I really just sort of saw a post on Instagram. I was really intrigued by the idea, and I thought I would jump on board with it all, really. So as far as how it works at the moment, what we do is, like I was saying, we connect these independent cooks from these cultural backgrounds with companies. So really, we're kind of developing a marketplace at the moment. So if you wanted to order now, you just go through a form on our website. But really what we'll have is something which is a little bit more developed, which will be quite similar to Uber Eats or Just Eat. But really it will just be for those kind of, cooks. So you can go onto that cook's page and view their menu and then order from that if you're a company.
If you're a company.
Yes.
And there's the rub. I can't do it myself.
Yeah.
If I have a dinner party of 10 people, could I get you to cater it?
So I think we are thinking of branching out into private parties, and that's definitely something that we can deal with on an order-by-order basis. But for now, we're really just focusing on those companies. So we've worked with Google, Barclays, the Department for International Trade. We've worked with some law firms in London. In fact, we were recently at a digital tech event in Newcastle.
I love how you initially start swimming with all the small fish. Big corporate entities already.
Yeah.
And this came about because soon after you had this eureka moment, you thought, I can do something with this for social good. You can sprinkle some love on people's palates and open their eyes to some diverse cuisine.
Yeah.
You won an award from Innovate UK. Tell us about that.
So I think 2 years ago, I won an award from Innovate UK, which is a Young Innovator Award. So this award reward people under 30 years old who start a business and trying to promote like young entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship within a certain demographic.
And you were one of 63?
Yes, I believe so.
For that year? So year 2022, you were one of 63 people awarded it.
Yeah.
And what did you do with the $5,000?
Oh yeah, so I think this $5,000 is really because initially when we started the business, none of us, I just graduated from uni, I have no savings, and Frankie was still in uni at that time, so with not founder capital, and that $5,000 really helped us to initially build tractions and to really like have some funds to support us with all the business activities. For example, as cooks out for coffee and maybe like buy some filming camera to really get cook stories out there as well. So
so it's really like, I think just adding on to that, I don't know, it was about kind of like building that initial community because we're really very like community centric. And I think for us like just sort of really investing in that in the early stages was so key from Innovate, because like, you know, we've now got a community of I think around like 65 cooks. So it's just incredible from that kind of atomic network, if you like. We've really just managed to build that out, you know, with the help of people like Innovate UK, like Durham University.
And did they serve as a mentor? Did they give you access to a team of people who knew what they were doing and they could help steer you, keep you on the right path?
Yes, they also gave us like 2 mentors as well alongside the program. So we will always like catch up every week. So I need to update with them about like all the like latest updates within the company and also maybe some new ideas, and they will give us like feedbacks, which is really valuable.
I think like just having a mentor or at least like someone to support, like Durham University, we're in Durham Venture Labs, so that there's like a Venture Labs school at Durham University, and there we're constantly surrounded by entrepreneurs and staff who will help us, and I think it is really about growing out that network and that kind of support bubble, if you like, and I think that really just helped us and I guess like gave us a bit of motivation on those days where, you know, we weren't feeling quite so good about things, so, you know, it was just lovely to have that and those kind of people around.
You see like other people was really like working hard near you and they have like their ideas and motivations, and you just feel like instantly you want to like moving forward. And
so you're in this cauldron of ideas.
Exactly.
And everyone's enthusiastic about their own idea. And you find they're quite collegiate. They're willing to help you, even the people who might be a little bit envious, because you know, you got your first job was with the Department of Trade and Industry.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's right.
And then after that, it was Google.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Oh,
thank you so much.
But you wouldn't have had that start if you were a startup outside of the milieu of the university. Is that right?
I mean, I think like part of it comes down to the idea, but I think definitely the university helped with those kind of initial connections and contacts. We were also in Durham University Blueprint Startup Challenge, and there we really got quite well connected with you know, investors, advisors, that kind of thing. So
I think it's really because like they backed us, and then when we speak to those big companies, big firms, they have this kind of confidence that because you've been backed by a lot of like trusted organizations, and I think that's really important.
Really valuable.
Tell
me about your first pitch panels.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't so rosy.
No. So I'm just trying to think. The one that we did to investors, we did an investment pitch. And that went. I think we were quite early stages at that point.
I think 2 months after we had this idea.
So it was really still idea.
Like
you haven't had a
idea
chance to execute it or put anything down on paper or get the tech behind it.
Exactly. That time we only have 2 people in the team, and we thought maybe it's a good time to get some investment and then expand the team. So that was like a very naive idea that we had at time. So we went to an investor's office in
in Newcastle. And I think like when we were there, it was really just idea stage, but it was very difficult for both of us. I don't think we quite had that the experience that we have now, I think, to really be able to communicate our ideas in the most effective manner, I think. So
they live online, the long tail of video. And you were quite accomplished though. Because I'd met you, I just thought, wow, they were really good, very articulate. And you did a little bit of a unison play at the end, not choral singing, but finishing the same tagline.
Oh right,
together.
Oh yes,
quite cute.
Oh my gosh, no, it was no, we got a lot of compliments on our cook hats actually. That
they had chef's hats on.
Chef's
hats.
We
tried to grab some attention.
Early on,
But did you ever encounter people, because I know that I was looking at some of the research that has come up via Innovate UK, and the CEO was quoted as saying that, half of the young people, you're how old, 24, 25?
Yes, when I won the award, I was 23, so now I'm 25.
25.
Yeah.
And Frankie, you were?
So I started at 19 and now I'm 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you have that fear of people putting age barriers in front of you, or did you experience ageism?
I think there's some people saying that, you both looks quite young to start a business, and I don't know, it depends on like how you take this word. You can flip them around, take it as a compliment because you achieve a lot with a young age. However, like it also seems like people have the stereotype that you need to be at a certain age to start something, and I think the whole Young Innovator Award is also trying to award people who is under a certain age to be a role model and to encouraging people, no matter what age, and just to start the things that you have a strong belief in.
Because the research that they did, they found that half of the people who had ideas were too frightened about people placing age barriers and judging them because they weren't old enough. Did you have anyone outright say, "Oh, you're far too young, you're not getting our money"?
I don't think people have said that they wouldn't take our money or like take our food. I think people have always been, willing to take orders from us, which is great. But I think there have definitely been maybe the odd comment just made generally about, you look quite young, that sort of thing. And I think the issue is that, you get these comments and it's not only thrown at us, it's thrown at other young entrepreneurs, and it's just really discouraging, disheartening for those people that, maybe want to go into entrepreneurship and then suddenly you get that comment straight away and then you're completely, fired down. So I think it is sometimes just about changing the narrative around that, and Yuru and I, as much as possible, we want to encourage those young entrepreneurs forward and show, actually you can do it. There are plenty of entrepreneurs, if you think about it, if you think in Silicon Valley and all that kind of stuff, there are plenty of those young entrepreneurs who are coming up, who are making those incredible companies. So there's really nothing stopping you from a young age going into it at all.
Well, believe you me, as you get older, you experience ageism a lot because you're not young enough. So it's like Goldilocks. You're never the right temperature, you're never the right age, you're never the right anything. There's always going to be some panel of judges pulling you down. So now, do you have kind of a direct rejoinder when people mention, "Oh, you're so young to be running this company"? And what would you say if I said, "Oh, wow, you're running this company"? What would you say to me?
I would say, "Thank you. That's compliment for us."
Fantastic. Look, we're doing all this.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So how does the platform work then? Let's say I know the woman upstairs, she's Persian, she makes beautiful food. If she wanted to come on board, how would she do that?
Yeah, so first of all, she needs to register her interest on our platform, so she can fill up like a questionnaire kind of thing on our platform, stating name, type of food they want to cook. Are they experienced cook or like more like home cook? What's your food story? Why you want to start it? That kind of thing. And then we'll phone them up and invite them for coffee, or like maybe go to their house just to sample the food. And afterwards, we'll work with her together to make sure she got level 2 food hygiene certificate and also register her food business with local council. And
so do you deliver that training to them, or you link them up with people who can deliver the workshops?
Yeah, so I mean, we work alongside other businesses. Obviously, we don't always manage everything ourselves. We just make sure that everybody has the correct certification before they're on our platform, you know. And there are some cooks who just arrive with that already, who are already a bit more experienced. But yeah, anyone who isn't, we just direct them to the relevant sites. So legally, it's all okay.
And what about liability insurance cover for these home cooks? Because they're not chefs. That's important to distinguish them. They're not chefs. They're home cooks.
Yeah, I mean, I think like we have a mixture. So not all of them are like working from home. So some are in commercial kitchens. So we do actually have some more experienced chefs on board as well as those cooks. So we had someone who was actually working under Gordon Ramsay. So it really just sort of depends what kind of level of chef or or cook you want. But obviously for those cooks that
more experienced,
that more experienced would already have that, so be in a commercial kitchen. If they're working from home, they do need the kind of like product liability insurance.
And on top of that, we also have our own product liability insurance to cover all the cooks working on a platform as well.
And they need to know about allergies and
absolutely,
the nitty-gritty of food hygiene.
Yeah, I think it's something that we really take very seriously. And on a lot of products, actually, when you take them off the shelves, you can't immediately see those 14 food allergies. But with us, whenever you're at an event, you will be able to see those, the main 14 allergies listed. So it's very clearly noted on those things that, what they contain. Because I think it's so important to take note of that nowadays, particularly at events where there are so many different types of people there who have their own preferences and requirements.
So what was your last event that you did, and what sort of different cuisines were served up? Because as I understand it, you don't just roll out the one dish, or you often have kind of a trolley with a selection.
So we call that bring the world food to one plate, because we try to like match 3 or 4 different type of cuisines under one event. So last one was 2 days ago. We had an event catering the tech next in Newcastle. We brought Lebanese food, Portuguese food, Mauritian food, and also just like some traditional English breakfast. So it's a mix of
a mix of kind of different cultures, and it was very funny because we had like Yuru was saying, this sort of traditional like British English breakfast, if you like, and actually that remained untouched. So everything else went, and then you just had like this platter that was completely full. So I think it really just shows that people are looking out for more diverse cuisines when they go to these events. And it was actually very interesting to watch on the table when those people were kind of coming over, and they were going, "Oh, I recognise that, I recognise that, I recognise that," and it was just reminding them of those kind of cuisines that they might get back home if they come from another country, or things they
I spoke with a guy at the event, and then he was mentioning about the baklava. It reminds me of their like old time when they have like breakfast on a dinner table, the breakfast table with the family, that kind of moment. And it's really nice to bring back those moments with the food that we supply.
And do you do sort of a MasterChef moment where the chefs come out and meet the crowd, meet the audience?
So we've actually got a great event happening tomorrow. So it's near St Paul's Cathedral. We've got an event where we'll be having like about 5 of our cooks along, and they'll be displaying their food and also just talking a little bit to people about it. So I think that's
love that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, never mind the conference. Let's just get the cooks in front of us. Fantastic.
Exactly.
So that company wants to use our service to celebrate diversity and inclusion in workspace. So that's why they were asking us if we could not only supply the food, but also have all the cooks allowed to speak to their employees and to tell them about different food cultures, because a lot of time people are not aware of a lot of different food cultures. And
that's the highlight of the event, whatever the event is. Exactly. So diversity and inclusion, equity, this is very important to you. And I understand that you do some work with refugees. I mean, you're really trying to make this world a better place through offering diverse cuisines and meeting the cooks that make this magic on plates.
definitely.
Completely. So yeah, initially when we built this platform, really we want to help like refugees, immigrants, and stay-home parents or retirees or anyone really who love cooking to use our platform to share their native food cultures and stories with a wider community, and also use our platform to make a meaningful income. Yeah, so we work with two refugee drop-in center in Newcastle. So we together with them we build a commercial kitchen where a lot of refugees maybe coming to the new country doesn't really have like a space to cook at their home. So we offer them a commercial kitchen where they can cook there and use our platform to share.
So these are people that are far enough along in the system.
Yeah.
You know, they're not new arrivals seeking asylum.
Yeah.
So they've got the right to do something to earn money themselves.
Yes, completely.
And you help them. I mean, you open a big door for them. And
yes.
Yeah, I think that's a really lovely thing. And it's also, just sort of going back to community, it's also about having that community of people there as well, because there are so many barriers, you know, coming into a new country. And I think, like, it's just nice to kind of get a group of people together where they can talk amongst themselves, you know, they can come together, they can share their issues and also cook at the same time. It's such a lovely activity, I think, just bringing people together. And we have some wonderful photos actually from a previous event that we did where everyone's in the kitchen, you know, they're all together, they're all sort of helping one another. It's just such a nice like time to bring people together. And
also like I spoke with one of the cook from the refugee event that we hosted last month. And after the event, the cook was really happy to be part of the event because she used to live in a community and she didn't really know if like her British neighbors would love her food or not, because all the time it's like the community are disconnected. She's always like cooking behind those doors. And then at this event,
it's almost surreptitiously.
Exactly.
But at this event, there's like a lot of people from different cultural background. They all gave her compliment about the food that she made. So she said that really helped her build the confidence when like in a new environment.
Oh, that's brilliant. What was her cuisine?
It's just like Kurdish food.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So she made some like the biryani and some like homemade Kurdish pizza as well. It's really, really tasty.
Oh, that's really lovely. So you work across the UK, or is it mostly Newcastle and now London?
So just really Newcastle, London. We've only recently kind of expanded to London, but we've definitely managed to make a bit of an impact there already. We've got some really good clients. So, but yeah, Newcastle is really where we're from, and we really want to encourage people, obviously in the northeast, those kind of food and drinks businesses up there, because I think it's such a fabulous scene when you go up there and, you know, you've met some really extraordinary entrepreneurs who are also making waves in the food industry. And I think as much as possible, we want to, you know, say thank you to them, because I think that's really where we started.
Well, bread and butter.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's quite techy. Newcastle has a huge tech population, doesn't it?
They have like a Sunderland software city where they're encouraging all the tech people and connecting all the tech people across Northeast. And also there's a few universities as well. Durham University, Newcastle University, Northumberland University.
Well, it sounds like you've got a thick mattress of support, and the sky's the limit. So do you want to roll it out little by little as you can with resources yourselves, or are you looking maybe franchise model in the future?
I mean, all those are like possibilities that we're considering at the moment. I think really sort of investment is our next step, so we're kind of we're making inroads into it at the moment. But it is. It's really about scaling, and we've developed those processes so far. We're, you know, making a city launch playbook. Like to describe it. So like each city, we kind of have a good idea as to how to, you know, launch a service, get the cooks together, that kind of thing, and build those communities, which is
get
so
corporate
important.
clients on board as well.
Exactly.
I looked at your social media. It's not that well developed yet. Are you going to be throwing some more resources at that? Because I did. And I imagine if there's two of you, I mean, how many people do you have working on the team?
So currently we have about 4 people. I mean, it's only us two who are full time actually at the moment. Right. So everyone else is kind of part time. I'd say like 4 main people. But we have a few sort of student interns. Obviously, social media is another thing, but I think that is generally more like consumer facing, particularly with Instagram, Facebook. So as we're only focusing on corporate, it's like LinkedIn is our main site, and I think we've managed to really LinkedIn, Instagram mainly for cooks, and then LinkedIn for all those corporates. So that's been quite a big That's been our main focus, I'd say.
But I suppose in real life is so much better. I mean,
Yeah.
you're out there, it's word of mouth, you're making an impact in person at all of these events.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's the nicest thing that someone said to you about the platform and what you're doing?
I think they were calling us a gem.
Diamonds?
Yes,
Emerald?
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So that was like a compliment from one of our clients, and they were telling us because they host a lot of like cultural events, and in the past, whenever they host cultural events, they always bring like sandwiches, which really not the best thing to spark the conversation with all the attendees. And then since we come up and we help them to bring like a selection of food from all around the world, and this is the word they use to describe our service, and I thought it's really, really sweet.
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah.
So
I got some really nice compliments, I think.
Yeah.
And what do you want to say to other young people that look with not a little bit of envy at what you've managed to accomplish in just a couple of years? Because you are making money at this. It's a social enterprise, which doesn't mean that you're on poverty row. You want to earn a decent living and be able to grow this baby of yours. So what do you say to people who think, oh, I couldn't do that? Because confidence was the other thing. Innovate UK said a third of young people that they interviewed said that they just, oh, no way, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the things I always live with is called always dream big and make it happen. And I think this is something I keep trying to follow. I follow this motto all alongside of my life, I think, pretty much.
And where did you get that? Because you originally, your home, you grew up in China. Which part of China?
It's like east part, like not too far away from Beijing. Yeah, so I think I maybe learned from my dad, and my dad, he's an entrepreneur as well. So he always like taught me this kind of lessons from what he learned in business, and he taught that to me since I was really young. So I think I pick up one sentence that he told me, which is always dream big and make it happen.
Dream big and make it happen. I love that. What about you, Frankie?
Oh, I don't know really.
What do you tell people who maybe think, I don't have the resilience and I couldn't put up with any rejection? What do you say to them?
Yeah, I think I think I'd probably say that sometimes it's just about making that kind of first step, because a lot of the time people are almost like too nervous to even start or even begin something, and it's that kind of like I imagine it because I used to do a bit of running and need to get back into it, but it's always like, putting your trainers on at the start of the day. That's sometimes the hardest thing. It's not actually going for the run itself, it's actually putting your trainers on. It's actually like getting yourself out there. And I think that, I think just sort of like going out there, putting yourself out there, saying, I'm going to do this idea, I'm going to do it every day, I'm going to, really have a go at this. Even if, like, say 2 months later you decide, actually, you know what, I didn't really want to do this at all. It's just,
at least you tried.
At least you tried, at least you did it. And I think, like, just have a go, see where it goes. Because, I mean, that was the same for me when I got into the business. I was not thinking we would be here, I mean, like, obviously
you're
I
an
had
English
ambitions.
major.
Yeah, I'm an English major, obviously we both have our own ambitions and our goals and our visions, but, you don't know whether those will necessarily materialise, so...
Yeah, but even if we didn't eventually work out, I think just like this experience, a good memories, it's like... priceless, because we went to like a lot of different things together. We spoke with a lot of like amazing people, and we tried so many good food.
I mean all the food.
These are like already very incredible experience that I could.
Well, I'm thinking world domination because it's scalable at that level, isn't it? And see, the idea is great, and especially that you can reach out to home cooks that are, and I suppose people who are maybe have some challenges with working in a normal environment, and retirees who are looking to put their assets to better use. And you're really opening a door for a lot of people that maybe wouldn't have a chance to walk on through to something so interesting.
Exactly.
To share the love for food with other people and doing something you're passionate about.
I think that's the main thing, because so many people love cooking. People love like listening to cooking shows as well, and I think like there are lots of people behind closed doors who are there who want to do it, but just like they don't know how, and even if they are doing it, they're so disconnected from everybody else. So it's really just about bringing people together and showing that, actually, if you want to start a business, you can start a business. It's not impossible. We can show you how to do it, hopefully.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you so much for coming on. Yuru Guo and Frankie Docker.
Yeah.
All the best with, hey, food's ready. Not that you need my encouragement. I mean, you're just revving it up and going for it.
Yeah.
And I wish you all the luck in the world at growing it to whatever size you want, because it's a brilliant idea.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
That's the big middle for now. I'm Susan Flory. I don't know who we'll have next week. I've got to go to France for a couple of weeks and keep searching for my new home. So hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.